listen, never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Getting on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
All right, there's no human being on the planet I'd rather talk to right now than Joe Ryan. What a way to start the day.
There you go.
So congratulations for everything. I want to kick it off. I sat down with your GM, Derek Falvey, at the end of spring training, and I proclaimed, we have it on tape, on video, that I said Joe Ryan is going to be in the Cy Young conversation. You don't have to respond to that. I just want to let you know that.
Thank you.
But, having watched you sort of at the end of spring training down in Fort Myers, and then obviously seeing you early in the season, I just felt, I had that feeling that, and I'm sort of anxious to get your feeling of how you felt heading into the season compared to other seasons, that you reach a point in your career where things are just sort of clicking. You're always evolving. But how did you feel about coming in this year?
Yeah, it was a pretty good camp. I think confidence-wise, I've never been more confident, and just consistency of that was stayed true throughout camp. I wasn't coming in throwing my hardest velos, and I wasn't coming in with my best stuff necessarily, and it took a little bit to get everything rolling again. But I just been around some guys that are doing pretty good in the league, and other starting pitchers, and the way they go about their spring and the way they go about their off season is a little differently. So they're a little bit slower normally, and me coming off the injury, I just want to make sure everything's feeling good and flowing well, moving well, not trying to exert myself too much. And I think that also comes just with the confidence of knowing where I'm going to be in the rotation on the team, and just being able to work on pitching and have that use camp to build up. So it worked out great. Pete and the crew came up with a really good plan that we were able to execute really well, and that's where we were able to end spring on a good note. I think my last outing was at Fenway South, so it was,
that's the one that was basically off of.
It was a good one, and got all the pitches working that day. Was feeling the most flowy and in season ready, so it was good to carry that over. First couple starts, several starts, I'd say I was just still ironing some things out, and the last couple we've really worked on some things and got things kind of flowing, especially with the lower half. So syncing everything up again, and just refining pitches.
We only talked one or two times, but one of the times I remember talking about the evolution that you maybe heading into last year, driveline stuff, and again things that you were working on. You're never stopped learning, right? But do you feel like you have a better grasp? While you're learning, you're trying to lock in on what works best.
Yeah.
Right? Did you feel like now, even more so than 2 years ago, you've kind of locked in, okay, this works best for you, with the understanding that you're going to keep learning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think you're always watching the game. The game's always changing, small details, and you're trying to stay ahead of that. I look at, you're watching the best guys in the game. It's Zach Wheeler's probably in conversation for the best pitcher in the last 5 years, 4 years or so, at least. And what he does so well, I think, is he has obviously electric stuff, probably some of the best stuff in the game, but he has so many options to go to. And so what I try to look at is with analytics and scouting reports evolving and pitch types, hitters favoring one over the other. I think it's, if you can give yourself every option and knowing that you're not going to have every pitch on every day, it'll give you an option to go to different secondary weapons and primary weapons too, with two different fastballs. And then with that, it's you're always tinkering if you're looking at all the data we have with, okay, where's my release height been? Where's this trend going? Where's it been in years past? That's all stuff I love looking into. It's fun, and that's part of the game. So Pete and I enjoy our post-game breakdowns and stuff, going over, seeing where we're at, checking in there, working on stuff. 2 starts ago, it was the sinker was moving a little bit differently, and so we used that during the game, noticed that, used that to our advantage. And then the other day it was moving a little bit differently again, and used that to our advantage. So I think the more you play, the more you just see success with different options. So you're building a repertoire for every scenario.
Also about understanding how to process the information.
Yeah.
Probably for you, I mean, for all of baseball, we are learning this. First, it was the tidal wave of information. Then it was, okay, how do I process it?
Right.
How do I implement it? I mean, you're probably better at that now, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just experience. I mean, you can try to learn everything as quickly as possible, but there's so much information that you can only process so much. So I think it does take time, and I've been afforded that opportunity, and just keep learning. It's super fun.
I sat down with Chris Bassett the other day, and I really liked talking to him because he's along the lines of what you're talking about with Wheeler. Like, he watches other pitchers.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was here, we're sitting at Fenway Park, and he watched Zach Kelly move from one side of the rubber to the other. Literally the next day, he did it. I don't know if, like, besides Wheeler, if there's other guys that you watch or other examples that you can give. Like, I saw them do this, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of guys. There's guys with different slots. I mean, Nola on the Phillies as well is one of my favorites and has been for a long time. I mean, too many guys to name around. I love watching Yamamoto right now. I mean, even lefties, as weird as they are, like Fried's so fun to watch just as a pitcher. I mean, I don't think there's a better true pitcher in the game where he's just mixing pitches, mixing locations, just attacking the zone, and he just does an outstanding job of that. So, I mean, Crochet over here, Houck, Bayo, like, just.
And they're not like
they're
necessarily
all different,
like you,
No,
right?
no.
Right, but
I like watching good pitchers and see what they're doing, and also when guys like don't have great outings, I think that's also important to watch, to see what they're doing to maybe turn it around or attacking the lineup differently, seeing what I can do. Okay, if I find myself in this situation, trying to visualize, okay, what would I do to get out of this? I think that's also super important, not just watching the success. I used to strictly in the minors watch just strikeout highlights and not watch regular baseball games. So then my mindset going into games was like, the only option is that they're going to strike out, and now
for you or for other people?
For me.
Oh,
but,
for you.
But now that's
you know what?
Yeah.
This is
Something
like
good.
This is like
good mindset to have here.
This is way back. I love this because it's when we watched Bobby Valentine's year with the Red Sox 2012. What he implemented was when you walked in the clubhouse, there was just on a loop of walk-offs.
Yeah,
walk-off.
Yeah, the same thing. I would turn the TV off if it start day. But
really?
I mean, come on, I'm not watching that.
It's great.
Yeah,
let's go. A perfect segue. So the other day, after I had made that proclamation to Derek, then I was very happy not only to see your success, but then Pitching Ninja had surfaced your sweeper the other day. I know you probably talked about this.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
No, you're good.
But again, this goes to, someone might see that, and we're talking about a 30-inch break on a sweeper. Someone might see that, and you, not to be all like, oh my goodness, someone might be inspired by it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, with the 30 inches is crazy. I think I grew up sailing a little bit and surfing a bit more, but the wind, I mean, that has everything to do with it. The wind, like the angle, the wind coming in that day, and like where my hand is, where the seam is, like that kicks it an extra 10 probably. But so, yeah, I mean, I remember I was watching Michael Lorenzen actually throw a bullpen, I think probably 2019, and he got like a 23-inch sweeper or something in a bullpen. It was like 73, but I was like, that's possible? Like, I didn't even think about that. So, you got to see it done first. But, yeah, I don't know. 30 was crazy.
When it released, when you let it go, do you like...
I'll be honest, there was like, on our board, it had showed like 35, 36, 34. Like, there was multiple 30s in the on our scoreboard.
Right.
So who knows if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even like the best one in my mind. I was like, oh, it's just another sweeper, and I didn't see the movement on that one, so I didn't know. But
But when you're when you start throwing it,
I could just tell in the wind.
Tell.
Like I was trying to throw it behind the hitters at times to just get it in the zone.
It's literally like wiffle ball.
Yeah, the wind couldn't have been more perfect. So
it's
great.
like, when I get the wiffle ball box and it shows you how to throw the curveball.
Yeah,
that one. That's it.
It's how it felt. Well, so that was actually perfect segue. Was the week before, Matt Daniels and Pete and I were working on the curveball again, just to work on some hand position stuff, or actually the fastball. But that really helped the sweeper and just helped me dominate that, because I spike it. So it's just really emphasizing that middle finger dominance and putting the hand in a little bit better position, and it made the sweeper kick a little bit more.
Who taught you the sweeper? And I know sweeper is like,
I was watching like a Bauer video and Kluber and Sonny, and they were like talking about hand position and like grips on the sweepers when I was with the Rays. and Brendan McKay and I were playing catch with it in Durham, and he was like, dude, you should throw that. And then I got off the mound, and the Rays were like, yeah, you shouldn't throw that. Like,
really?
Yeah. And then I came over here, threw a little cement mixer for 22, and then freaking Trevor McGill showed me his.
Really?
He was like, we were working on the curveball, and I was like, I want to throw it harder. So he showed me the sweeper grip.
Yeah.
And then I just threw it in a game against the Pirates. Some hitter, I forget who it was, but I struck him out on it, and it was supposed to be a curveball, but it was like sweeper movement. And then Pete and I worked on it, and I threw it for like 2 outings at the end of that year, and then I went to Driveline, and they really helped me like refine it, find the split. Chris Langan was great there, and that's where we learned the split and the sweep.
It's a pit, and by the way, thank you for sharing that, because people don't understand the evolution. It's not like you go out to the bullpen and like, okay, I'm going to throw this.
Right.
It's going to be awesome. But when you get on Pitching Ninja and like you see those pitches, I love Rob.
Yeah,
Freeman.
he's great.
Yeah, and because it highlights things like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for you, like if when you watch Pitching Ninja, it's like, oh shit, how'd they do that? Like a lot of people are doing with you.
Oh no, I mean,
what are so
many guys?
What are the holy shit? Like, I can't believe he can throw that pitch.
I mean, watching Scooble probably. Clay Holmes' sinker is ridiculous. The kick changes have been super fun to watch across the league. Who's at Birdsong? I've been seeing his a little bit. Anything that Webb's throwing, I mean, I've been sitting on the iPad.
Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you. I've been watching the iPad and watching some of his outings, and like he just looks insane right now. That sinker, sweeper, the velo on both of them, how smooth the mechanics are. I like watching Wu, Gilbert. That whole Mariner stuff is gross. Yamamoto again. I mean, that's just so fun to watch.
So
DeGrom coming back.
Luke Weaver had said about Yamamoto.
Yeah.
He started before Yamamoto came over. He started watching Yamamoto. You mentioned Yamamoto a couple times, right?
So I played against Yamamoto in the Olympics.
Yes.
And so they were like a couple of guys that were playing on the Japanese team. Nick Zamora, or not Zamora, he played in the Cape with him. We were talking about him last time.
Yeah.
Nick Martinez.
Nick Martinez. Yeah.
He was talking about him over there. And he was saying just how good he was. So we were trying to exchange backpacks actually after, and I exchanged with someone else. So I got one of the Team Japan backpacks. But I was thrown at UCLA. I was there for a couple weeks, and Yamamoto was training there while he was figuring out who to sign with. So before he was signing, like he was showing me the javelins, and we were like tossing those on the field, and it's just like fun to watch his whole routine.
That's
and go
awesome.
through. He was great too. He's the man.
Yeah.
I played with Honeywell for a while, obviously. So
he
was always talking when he's over there.
Another friend of the program, by the way.
Yes. No, and he's like nothing. Yamamoto's the man. And when they came to Minnesota last year, it was good to see him. And he's a beast. It's just awesome to see his success. And I mean, the mechanics, the routine, it's all super great.
That's so cool that you got that experience.
Yeah, I was super lucky. I mean, it was fun. He would be wearing like a different team's hat, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to go see this team this week," and I'm there. But no, it was cool to see.
Well, speaking of the international stuff, you found out you were traded at the Olympics, right? Correct?
Yeah. I think I was traded mid-flight, so I think it's like the only player to be traded in international waters, maybe, but who knows?
By the way, I always love like a great "where were you when you found out" story. That might be the best one.
I think so. I mean, I remember it's like a 26-hour travel day. Got there, and it was me and Shane Boz and Casimir and Eric Falia. I think Costas was there. We were sitting at breakfast and just got there. It's like 7 a.m. and Falia's like, dude, Nelson Cruz just got traded to the Rays. And Boz and I kind of looked at each other, and I'm like, and then I looked at my phone. I had a ton of missed calls, so I had to go through that.
Wait, on the plane?
This was right when we landed, but then the USA team told us, they're like, yeah, we got the call or a text like mid-flight. So and I was just passed out in the back.
They didn't want to wake you up?
Yeah, it was the travel day was too long. We had too much going on. It wasn't the time to do it.
So again, the obvious cliche question is like, what's your feeling? Because we talk a lot about this. It's like when you're traded for the first time, it's cool that a team wants you, but you're also your guys. You're leaving your
Yeah.
guys behind. Like, as you got off this flight for like whatever it is, 17 hours, what was your feeling?
It was honestly the perfect transition because
Yeah.
I knew I had 25 days in Tokyo there, and it was like, okay, I'm now just going to focus on being with this team. I wasn't thinking about being with the Rays. I knew I wasn't going to go to the big leagues with them, and they were just like, hey, you're going to stay in the minors for 4 more years or whatever it was. So, knowing that it was going to take a while there, it was kind of like, all right, now I have an opportunity to maybe make it up to the big leagues, and obviously that worked out well here.
That's cool. Well, again, speaking of international, I have to ask, WBC?
It seems great. I mean, it was super fun to watch before.
Yeah. Would you do it?
I would have to think about it. I mean, if I get the
it's
call, it'd be
fair-
an honor. Yeah,
it's fair. Like,
it'd be
I asked
awesome.
Crochet the same thing. I
Yeah.
know for pitchers, it's a ways to go. You got to see where you're at with everything.
Exactly.
But, it's like one of the things we talk about with Team USA is like getting the
Oh no,
pitchers,
I'd love to put the jersey back on and get that call. But we'll see where it shakes out.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
It was
Appreciate
really
it.
fun talking with you.
Thank you.
Thanks.